Hello there again from the Green Reaper. Today it's all about potatoes. Just to remind you what I've done before, I've got these 30 litre buckets and they've been just over half filled with earth. And then I pulled out the middle and placed a potato, that's new potatoes, your first earlies, one in the bottom of each bucket. And then what I'll do, I'll just backfill them each time as the green comes through. I'll just backfill them a little bit all the way to the top, and hopefully get some good potatoes out of those pots. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pots there. Another way that I do potatoes is the 2x2 boxes that I've previously mentioned. I'm going to just do those now. So I place 2 on the floor. I'm just going to put the other 2 on top and line it with plastic. Once I've done that, I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, so that's the boxes stacked on 2. And that's lined out now with plastic. Best to do that, I think. I mean, in the beginning I was not lining the boxes out. You do get deterioration after about a year or 2, so these are about 3-4 years old now, these boxes, so into their 4th year. So there's much better. And then what I'll do is just overlap it a little bit there. That's in one piece. Overlap down the bottom a little bit and a little bit higher there than the box. And then what I'll do now is fill the box up with a couple of inches of soil in the bottom, good soil, and then place 4 or 5 potatoes in there, one each corner, one in the middle, and go from there, yeah? So again, what I've done is I've cut the plastic, a little bit oversized as I say, just to overlap it down the bottom, let it overlap up the top, and I've tacked it. I've tacked it as I go, like just drape it from the top, because it just makes it a hell of a lot easier, rather than it all keep falling inside like the plastic, and while you're loading the earth up. And it's going to only stay like this until, as I say, you topped it right out with earth. And as I say, there's a lone lettuce there. That's the way that I'm going to be earthing it up. If you imagine, it's just peeping through the soil, the actual potato foliage, and then each time you see a little bit there coming through, just earth it up a little bit there with the earth until you get right to the top of the box. Now these boxes, as I say, I've been lucky enough to get the scaffold board to make them, and the plastic as well, you know, like it's thick building plastic to line them boxes out. But if you haven't got anything like that and you can't get hold of buckets on the cheap type of thing, I mean, on this next door plot here, this abandoned plot, there's these 2 bins here, look, that you'd normally put foliage and cuttings and whatever to rot down. So I mean, what you could do with that type of thing, if you're handy enough, you just take to it with a saw, cut it through that sort of height, and then stand that up, do away with that large end because of that hole, stand that up, and then fill that up with earth as you go. And that's that second box now. Place the potatoes, a couple of inches from the bottom, 2 chits on that one. A couple of inches. And hope for the best. They're all covered up. You've got to keep the potatoes covered up as they come up, because if you do get any exposed potatoes there, they turn green, they're supposedly poisonous, and you can't really have those ones. So they're ready now to go all the way, hopefully to the top. That was 1 barrow load of earth in those 2 boxes. It's taken me about probably 20-25 minutes total. That's messing about with the film as well. So it's a quick job, and hopefully Get plenty of spuds out of it. Anyway, my next job for the day is to tackle that shed, smooth all that stuff away from the front of it, them panels there, and to take that shed apart. So I'll keep you posted on that one. That's the next job. Anyway, bye for now from the Green Reaper. Second thoughts, before starting that shed, clearing them panels away and taking that shed apart today. That definitely needs that done because I'm listening at the road, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So it's got to go. It was always going to go when I first come here. What I'm going to do is sort out these potatoes here into these buckets because I've got a few left over. 13 actually, unlucky 13. And so I've got 6 buckets on the go. Must have another bucket on the go. Put one on its own and then the other 6 I'll put 2 in each one. Now this bucket here I've just picked it up and this is leftovers from just putting the earth into the bucket, and there must have been something in it or another. A leek's carried on growing. That's that. I'll add that for tea. And just to show you, them that don't know, there's a potato. Basically, when you look at that potato there, that's basically how that's growing. Look, that's even half a potato, where it's got chopped in half and started to grow again this year. But I'm not going to use that. I'm going to do away with that, compost that. And what I'm basically going to do is fill these buckets up now, chip that earth onto there. This one-handed camera lark's no good. Here, so I can just put that to one side now, and I'll quickly fill those up, show you what I do. Maybe. So, grab hold of a shovel, straighten that out a little bit. That's an old trampoline. Old trampoline. Hold on. Just turn that into that. A little bit energetic style. The bank on every Monday. Plenty of pearl light in there. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to waste these few potatoes. I've emptied out of my old pots where they've been growing, just started to grow. So I'm just going to basically stick them into a pot and give them a chance of life. See what happens. I mean, I've got a spare pot here now, so I've just got that one to go in there. At least they're on the go. So I'll plant that up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See what happens. I've got loads still in that bed up there. I could do that with, but here, I'm not going to bother too much. Some would say it's wrong to do that, so I'll just give them a chance, then 5, and see what happens. So that's them last buckets in place now. I just used 3 of those little potatoes that I'd found in an old bucket, just giving them a little start. And I put 2 of these marriage partners in each bucket now. A couple of chips on each again, covered up. 2 in each bucket, and so on, all the way through. Let's see how they come out. I won't be messing about much more like with the camera like this. I'm going to have to start using my GoPro camera, strap it on my front, on my head or something or other. Probably a little bit silly down the allotment, but here, all this one-handed gardening's no good. But here, I'm going to leave you now. So that'll all be done in a minute, and then I'll carry on with the next job, sorting out my shed.